Welcome to my humble channel. LTK here, and Kunwu is the knife of the day for us. The Orion, and yes it is, it's the K701 Orion in S35VN. You can see we got a couple of dots here because the reason it's been a while since I received this knife to the time I'm doing this video is because I sent it to Kurt to have Rockwell test on it. The problem is, according to Kunwu, my contact there, Sergio, he says we're differentially heat treating the blade, so it's going to be softer up here for impact resistance, and it's going to be harder down near the edge. Problem is we can't measure the edge, okay? So we got around a 58 right up here, just under a 58, 57.8. And to us, in our little brackets that we do on our sheet, our testing sheet, 58 to 61 is the green zone for S35VN. So this is just right at the low end, and we can't measure up here. So they're going to do some tests where they can measure at the edge and forward that information to us. But from what I hear from Kunwu is that they are dedicated to making going above and beyond the standard fare that you're getting from the typical Chinese manufacturers. So, I mean, they are engaged. They are engaged with our testing group, and they're sending a knife, an Orion, to Super Steel Steve to do performance cutting tests. So they're right there talking to other people in our group as well. So it sounds like they're really engaged and they're really thinking about things. This knife is their first knife out. It was Kickstarter. And if it makes sense to give you the link to their Kickstarter, I will. It's already funded, and I'm not sure by the time I post this if it's already taken down. It'll go to production, and then there will be a website where you can buy this knife. It's got an anodized titanium backspacer. Obviously, it's a titanium frame lock flipper with CPM S35VN steel on it. The action's really nice. No question about that. It's centered, no blade play, no lock rock, very solid. We will disassemble it here in a little bit so we can see inside. Like a suspended backspacer. The screws are nice and they're number 8s, at least these are along here. I don't know about the pocket screw. Nope, that's a number 6. But these are number 8s, so they should be easy to disassemble. And they're that socket head type, nice machined looking screw. So I don't know what the retail will be once these hit their website, but they have other models that are in development as I speak that will be coming out shortly. So if this is not a design that speaks to you, pay attention, because Kunwu will be coming out with more. There are a group of designers that have done designs for other Chinese knife companies, manufacturers, and so they have talent, and they have know-how, and they have experience. There you go. Kind of a drop point, flat grind blade, and I'll give you a little bit of paperwork. You can, I didn't print all the pages because they had like 28 pages of talking about what they're doing to bring themselves above the standard fare, okay? So here we go. You can pause and read this little by little. And, saying here that they're bringing it into the 60s for better cutting performance. They're watching they're doing an 18-degree angle for impact resistance instead of, a lesser angle, etc. And so I'll give you the link to this and you can read everything they have to say there. Comes in a box, looks like this. Okay, so it's fitted, etc. There you go. That's solid. And the knife feels solid in the hand. And yeah, it's got jimping. Thump ramp here. Pass-throughs, easy to disengage. Drops, it's quick over the detent ball. So by the time that flipper tab hits your thumb, it's over. Has a nice drop, feels really solid. Titanium pocket clip that's machined, and it's got one screw holding it in place. That's solid. No left hand carry for the pocket clip, no left hand option. Of course, there's where your lanyard can go through in the back. And it's got kind of a texturing on it. You know, it's got what you can get from a titanium knife that doesn't have specific grooves or anything in it as far as grippiness. And the ergos, they feel fine. There's really nothing specific here that's forcing your fingers into a certain location, so that's good. It's big enough. It's a long enough handle. Reverse grip feels good too. Got this little front choil area you could sneak up on if you want to do some fine cutting. And let's pull a piece of paper out of here somewhere. Okay, yeah. Feels pretty sharp out of the box. Yeah, it's got a good factory edge on it. So no complaints there. Oh, balance. It's right there. There's your balance point on the knife. Let's put a tape to it. So 3.5-inch blade, 90 millimeters, overall 8 1/4, 21 centimeters. And get my thing out here. 0.49, 12.5 millimeters. Blade stock looks like 3.5, pretty much, 0.13. And, oh, by the way, let's weigh it up, see what we got here. Okay, not bad. 4.5 ounces, 129 grams. So, you know, for a full-size titanium knife, it's well under 5 ounces. Not bad there. And probably speaks to the fact that it's weight relieved inside the handles pretty heavily. There's your lockup. Ooh, 30 to 35%. Feels pretty solid. No real other way of opening it other than the flipper tab, which is jimped. It's small. It's not big front to back, and it's not tall. But it's intuitive. And detent, I can't do that. Okay, I can do that. It's pretty standard for most all the flippers I have reviewed. It's right in that range, about a 5.0 on my scale for detent. So it launches pretty well. I mean, it'll hold in the handle really well. And even like that. Oh, I finally got it out. Okay. So, yeah. Not real stiff detent, but it's kind of middle ground. And a lazy flip kicks it open. Let me see if I can fail it. Yeah, okay. But if you just have any intention at all, push button, yeah, not a problem at all. Well, let's take it apart, see what we got here. We can't come from the front. We can go from the back. One thing I guess I would have to say is I would have skipped this little piece of carbon fiber lightning strike type around the pivot and then not doing it on the back. I think I'd have skipped the whole thing and really done a decorative surround around the pivot that would have been matched the back spacer and just forgot about that. I guess that's probably my biggest bitch about the whole thing. And here we go. I'm not spinning the front, so I'm assuming it's a D-shaped pivot. But that pivot screw, it had some thread locker on it. Hey, you can see a little bit. I could tell. Okay. So this should just pull off, which it does. And there you go, weight relieved hardened steel insert in the lock bar with a ceramic detent ball. And you go, where's the steel washer that needs to be in there? And guess where it is? It's right here. So that's where that is. And underneath it, we have ceramic bearings. And yes, we do have a D-shaped pivot, which begs the thought of, yes, this is D-shaped on the lock bar side. So since this pivot is machined at the end here, that's where it stabilizes when it passes through here. Keeps it from turning when you take it apart. There goes the pivot, and here comes the bearings from that side, and underneath that is a steel washer. There's the back spacer, which can be removed, obviously, and they have weight relieved the presentation side as well as the lock bar side. So well done. And here's your blade stop, which you can take out, put back in, etc. All right, Aru, I guess we're ready to reassemble. So here's from the presentation side. And of course, yes, it is D-shaped. And I believe that D shape needs to go downwards. So we're just going to put it through here like this. And that should match the other side. Our blade stop. And of course, the steel washer's already in here. And there we go with the bearings. On with the blade. On with the next set of bearings. And we already have the washer in here. This should be it, folks. Now if we just have our pivot at the right location. Line this up. Okay. There we go. And we got two of these. One more. Come on. Okay, so I think, yeah, we got it all together. See that we're not too tight on the pivot, nor too loose. and no play, and it's centered. Done with the Kunwu. Yes. So that was easy to disassemble and reassemble. Yeah. Nicely put together. The action's really good on this knife. You know, the drop and everything. It's nice. And they're also attempting to to differentiate themselves in the marketplace with their production expertise. So, gonna keep watching these. Talked to a couple of guys, and they said Kunwu would be a company to watch in the future. Keep your eye on it. I think there'll be more good things coming from Kunwu that will be very, very interesting. So this is kind of the intro. Take care. I hope you enjoyed it. You know what we do. We love them knives. You guys stay sharp.